Two. This episode, we're going to talk to one pixel brush artist, Antoine Boutin, a French artist, and he's going to show us a slightly different process than Florent showed us. This one is all photo, and these guys are amazing. They went from 3D, all 3D, some images, to all photo for other images. Now they're using more 3D, but it's almost hard to tell when they did what. Hopefully the audio is a little better this time around. I got a new sweet mic, but unfortunately we did a lot of these recordings all at once with this same mic. So bear with us, and we'll try to improve the audio quality on each one. Okay, thanks so much.
That's good. So I guess it's the first one you wanted to see?
Yes. Yeah, first of all, that was mind-blowing. I remember when I first saw that image, I'm like, holy shit. That's some incredible.
I think there's still some stuff that I don't like the EV is flat here.
Yeah, so what don't you like? So yeah, let's hear what you don't like about it.
The IV is really flat here, and like those three are, I guess, not well enough integrated, but I could do it. I didn't rework it, so no, I see it.
What do you think by the ivy being flat? What do you mean by that?
I mean, like the texture is repeating, it's like here it's more interesting because there is like more volume to it. Like you see there is like deep shadow and like Eevee in even if it's not real Eevee, I don't know, it looks small, but you get my point.
I see. So the color is kind of uniform, and you don't get pieces coming out the way you would like.
Yeah. I guess the shape is not really. I don't know. There is something not really working, and I guess it's both the shape and as well the texturing, which is a bit like repeating too much.
Yeah, but you feel like if you could put a few pieces of ivy that stuck out more, you would like it more.
Yeah, sure.
I think the edge looks really nice. Like the way it's something I noticed about your work and about everybody's work that started really killing it on this game is that you put that ivy there, but you really sectioned it off in a certain area. Like it's only in that one zone, and it takes up that exact shape, and it's very separated from the building. It's almost like pretty graphic in the way you have ivy here and building here. You don't have like little tendrils going off into everything. You kind of made sure you kept it in a certain area.
Yeah, that's because when you look at reference, you got it that the EV start from somewhere and it don't go randomly somewhere. It's like there is a logic behind.
Yeah.
So I guess I try to do that, even if it's not.
That's true too, but you also have it very simple. It's like it's covering up certain areas of the building and not others, but just enough so that you can kind of read the shapes of the building. I think that's an interesting thing that's happening in really good T2 concepts, because people are always asking, well, how does traditional art come into it? Because you're always doing everything with photos in 3D. And in this case, there's a it looks to me like a conscious decision of where the area is going to be left building and where you're going to put the ivy into so that the shapes are all nice.
Yeah, but I mean, this one was pretty like heavy photo bash, because like if I deactivate this, you will see the base. And back in the time when I started for you, I was using SketchUp. So this was like a SketchUp really rough render, if we can call that render, but it's more like gray box.
Yeah.
And then like I did, maybe I will just show the group and not every layer, but like I started to design the building. So of course this building is like worked already, as you can see.
Wait, so that one is just you starting to grab photos. So you had a phase where you were looking for photos for a while?
Yeah.
So what was the process of you looking for photos? Like what did you start with when you were like, I have this gray block?
If I remember well, this was like almost a real location. So
in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, in Santa Monica. So
Barbara.
Like Barbara, sorry.
Yeah.
And so I went to Google Earth and Flickr and Google Image, and I checked how it's looking down there. So I think I found like a cool. Yeah, it's gonna be shown later, but I found a cool picture where I can look at it and see how the building looks, and then I did like the building because I couldn't find a picture of the building itself in full.
Right. Because you knew what the intersection was because it was based on a place.
Yeah.
You couldn't find a photo of that exact building.
Yeah. So I had my the reference on my second screen, and then I copied to match, and then I textured like this part, then this part, and slowly, like this part, I took it like you can see it's only one photo.
Yeah.
And then I added like another photo, and then it's going. Oh, this is some shadow because it's not organized. But you see my point. Like I copy it, and then I think for all this area, I add like a pretty good reference. We will see.
Now, as you're clicking through those, each one of those is a photo that you started searching for when you started this image, or you kind of have a library somewhere where you were grabbing stuff?
No, it's generally like either I do like a general folder before starting with all reference
Hmm.
that I
Oh,
will
like you
use.
collect the things that you think you might need.
Yeah, exactly. And if there is not enough stuff in it, I will go search on internet and drag it up.
Because that
Yeah,
broken piece of building, that's a pretty difficult photo to find from that exact perspective.
yeah. So you can
Oh,
see
you
like
found something. Yeah, turn that back on. I'm curious to see that. The one,
this one.
yeah.
So
Oh, so
this
that.
one was like
Hmm,
just a photo of a damaged building, and I just grab like what I need. Since I already have the facade,
hmm.
I can say, oh, this is interesting because it shows how destroyed is it inside. So I
Yeah.
took that and I pasted in my wait, let me find the not this one. Yeah, see? So I just like
Right. And it was pretty close to the same perspective, so that was pretty lucky. Or was it really hard to
yeah,
find
of
that
course.
photo?
No, of course. I mean, generally photos are taken from the ground, so if I choose this angle to do, I'm pretty sure I will found like a lot of good references with this point of view because most of the photos are taken from ground perspective. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah, because games are from the player perspective, and photos are
Yeah,
taken from the player perspective, so
yeah.
those things line up.
Like if I needed to do this one from an aerial view, it will be more difficult, way
Yeah,
more difficult.
makes sense.
So let me. So yeah, after that, it's just like making more,
One at a
pushing more.
time. Let's see those bad boys. So you put the side ones on, and then you just kept on adding layers of.
Yeah, sometimes it's layer of photo, sometimes it's some layer of paint, like this, for example, to highlight, make the light stronger. I don't need a photo for that, of course, so I paint.
Yeah. Oh,
And
you just
it's
painted on a layer, and I assume calc in French means layer.
yeah, exactly.
I know when I get files from French artists because there's a lot of calcs.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's like
I see that you decided, oh, that little front corner that's getting light is the area where I'm going to add detail.
yeah, but I'm not sure it's gonna be. It's gonna be. We could. We're gonna check, but I'm not sure we will see it in the final picture. That's why I started detailing too early, I think.
Yeah. And did you start detailing this building before you had the rest of it? Before you had the rest of the image? Did you start
Well,
detailing it at this stage?
I'm not sure. I think I already have the other
Yeah, the whole
because
rest.
yeah, but it's not organized. So yeah,
Sure.
this
No,
one.
it's cool to see it this way anyway. But like the shadows you have on the under the
Yeah.
railings, you only
It's
added
because
those because you had a photo of a tree already there.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So that's it for like this building is done. This is like the EV pass.
And again, for the edges of the ivy, how did you? You again, you have like a reference folder with a lot of pictures of ivy already, or did you have to find them
No.
specifically for this?
I did it like manually, and it's both techniques. Let's see. So I think I added like let's see. No. Yeah. So like I did have this one, and I'm not sure about the edges because I think no. So yeah, this is a photo, and then I like for the. You see, I did this for I painted the edges. This.
Yeah. Oh,
This
you
is
actually added all those leafy edges to make it look a little more leafy.
yeah, exactly. And that's it for the IV. And then what we have, oh, no, we have a bit more IV.
Yeah, what are those little layers that you're adding there? What did you feel like you needed to do? Why were you adding all those little tendrils?
What do you mean? I'm not sure.
Like those last little bits, you just felt like you needed to have the edge be a little bit
Yeah,
nicer.
because it was because it was not like here. It was not like I started to sketch a bit the growing part, but it was not done. So I needed to push it a bit more.
Yeah.
So I just like painted and I already had like those information, so I could just like use the stamp. I think it's in English,
Yeah.
and I could like
Stamp a few shapes here and there.
yeah, and then
Yeah. Using the rubber stamp tool, I guess, for people
yeah,
who don't
yeah,
know that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
And then there is like so this is like the main reference
Ooh,
that
so
I
that's like almost one photo right there.
no, this is only one photo, except maybe for this. But all this, yeah, all this tree and the street is like yeah, one photo. Let's see what I did.
And did you have to do some adjustment to make the perspective fit work, or did it just
Yeah,
happen to be pretty good?
no. I did something like we will see. I did it so yeah, I added like a background. This is like some. I think this is some tree that come. Yeah, so this was like you see, I already did. We can't really see here, but I had just like the perspective like that.
I see.
So
You had the road, but you had to tweak the perspective of the
yeah.
buildings. I assume you have some sort of perspective grid that you can overlay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, back in the time, because now since we have 3D, I don't do that anymore. But I have like this grid,
Yeah. And
and
you,
then after,
where'd you get that grid? Did you make it or you found it somewhere?
no, I make it using tools that I don't use anymore. But it was called Carapace by I think it's from Electronic Arts,
Mm,
and it's like a small tool where you just draw like a line on an image, and another line, like a vertical line and another vertical line, and then it gives you all the perspective of the shot.
Oh, okay. Oh, what's it called?
Carapace.
Hmm.
Uh, but I don't use it anymore. But it's a free software, like pretty basic.
Yeah.
So then after I tweaked it a bit. I did the background. I painted a bit, like to simplify the shape of the background.
Now that's interesting. That last layer where you put the sky in there. That
Yeah,
yeah, you just felt like you wanted to see a light shape back there. So you kind of cut out that
yeah,
mountain so that you could have some light shapes that kind of draw your eye into the picture.
yeah, exactly. And it will give me as well a bit more depth.
Yeah. That's an interesting decision because that's the kind of thing that like it's hard for some artists to like remember, oh, it's the photo, but you're also allowed to make a choice. And you made
Yeah,
that
you
choice and lined it up just so that you could push that viewer's eye back into the photo, even though that's not
yeah,
what was happening in the photo.
yeah, exactly. You have to play with it, or it's not gonna work anyway. I mean, you can find the perfect photo, but it's not fun if you don't play with it.
And you kept those shapes back there really simple, like they're a little but just they're just like curves, you know, they're just like little round shapes just to
Yeah. And that's because I love like graphic shape. I'm not sure I'm really good at it, but Balazs show us some awesome stuff about graphic shape. He's
what
really
did
good
well, I think you're
at it.
good at it. What did he show you? Because that's actually the interesting part, I think, is that you guys are doing realistic images, but you're also thinking about graphic shapes.
But yeah, totally. Because it's like you have in your OPB presentation, with your logo, with shape, longish shape, with triangle, round shape. All
Right.
that things matter when you need to do like a shot about about an environment and or story. So
Okay.
this one was pretty big, I think. I find like a great picture of the ground again.
Let's see
Uh,
that great ground picture.
Wait, this one?
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's from where? That was from the
like
desert somewhere?
like the shape was already awesome. I think I found it in on Flickr or maybe on Google Image. I don't remember. But yeah,
Now,
it was something like desert or Utah or something like that, or maybe even Santa Barbara in Flickr.
yeah, because it has similar plants and stuff. So
Yeah,
you said You picked this picture because the shape was awesome. What do you mean? I mean, I know what you mean, but
like the flow is getting the eyes through the image and through the depth. So we are going to, like, this one is going to the background and leading the eyes to the background, and this one is showing like the building. So it's like
right. So the light dirt on the dark grass is pointing your eye in different directions in a
yeah,
nice way.
exactly. It lets you, yeah, flow the eyes into the image.
That's something that I think a lot of people don't realize that you guys are thinking about when you're doing it, is that you're
Yeah,
picking photos that have beautiful shapes that you would maybe normally paint.
yeah,
But when you're not painting them, you're trying to find them.
yeah.
Because that one on the
And
right is really nice too. It curves around into the image. That next one you put in, that
yeah,
right
yeah.
shape,
But
it just.
it's like, you see, it's the same. I
Yeah.
use that like both to have like
Oh, that's nice.
but since I work at this part, I don't think it is one photo. It's, or maybe no, yeah, I painted a bit here and there, but to add depth. But
What do you mean you painted? Like you smudge it or did you blur on top and paint?
no, 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 no. I think I did like something like a really dirty. But since it's small, it's working. Wait, it's working pretty well. Like the color. I just adjusting the color variation in the brush, so it's not too contrast. But I
Oh,
just
interesting.
like I just did maybe a bit more no luminosity. Yeah, I just did like you see, it's working because I already have like I have a picture of some grass behind, so I have already a lot of information, so I can. And since it's really tiny, like from this angle, it's perfect. It's working.
Right. Now what's the point of doing that? What are you trying to get rid of
It's
or
it's
add?
it's like to merge and to harmonize everything, to like, because if I didn't have that, like my the car behind wouldn't fit. I
Mm.
mean, I needed to find something that makes the car really in that. You know what I mean, in
Yeah,
the
sitting in the
environment.
space, like you needed some
Yeah,
grass in
yeah,
front of it.
yeah, exactly. And then like I did some plants. This one maybe is not, or maybe let's keep it. Yeah, so this one, I guess it's the same but reverse. This
Oh,
one.
you just copied it and turned it. So you
Yeah.
found a nice dirt shape on
Yeah.
grass, and then you just reused it a bunch of times.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, because with Photoshop you can play so much with, so you already have like a, yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, I think that arrangement of shapes, like you're doing, is like a thing that translates all the way to the final game, because that's that kind of thinking about arranging shapes in a stylized, painterly way for a photoreal game is just not something that a lot of people think about.
Yeah, 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 totally. And then what did I do here? Oh, okay, I guess I made the grass a bit warmer.
Hmm. Oh, just to add some color variety. Ooh, that background, that last little slice of light is really nice. Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, see, that does the same thing. You cut out the tree, right? You cut out the sky, and you
Yeah,
put some light sky. So that created a nice contrast back there. Then you put that other little slice, and both of those things added so much depth into the picture.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But since I put the wait, since I added the blue sky, yeah, yes, and there was no like big tree behind. There was, they like, it was my English, sorry. Uh, it needed to have like really big light. You know what I mean?
Back there,
Yeah,
so that it could come forward, so you could pop, so you could see it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, and it will pop. It will make the image a bit better. Wait, let me, because that's like annoying. Let me close that. Okay. So after, it's like just adding some props and trees.
That car is cool. You have a car library full of stuff.
To be honest, this one I think I stole it from Sweeney
Yeah.
concept, and I
Awesome.
hided it, so it's not like
Yeah,
obvious.
it's medium. It's okay. You're really making the same game. That's adding quite a bit. That
The
yellow
so
line with the dirt on it is adding so much
yeah, because
to the
we
picture.
yeah, because and again it's a storytelling piece. So I mean there's a storytelling part. I mean there used to be a road before, so it's always good to show it and
That's interesting. You describe that as storytelling because we mentioned storytelling a lot, and some people be like, "What do you mean by telling a story?" And in this case, all you're saying is you're adding a couple lines, and the story is there used to be a road here.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because Last of Us is not only about. I mean, when we talk about story, we all imagine like characters, but it's false. Like environment are telling a lot of story as well, and Last of Us is like a really strong example of that.
Now, the dirt and the way it interacts with the concrete, did you paint that on there, or did you find a piece of road that had
I
it on?
I, I let me find it again. So I found like a reference of like a street, like a basic one,
Hmm.
and I erased it a bit. And
Hmm.
then with the tool, the blend tool,
Yeah.
double, when you double click on a layer, you have like this blend thing. You can like hide it on the darker area.
Yes. So the light can come through it, and so you just let it come through to the point where you wanted it to come through.
Yeah, and since I already have like some good informations of sound
That's
under,
great. Yeah.
if I hide it, it's already getting the shape of the sound, so it's almost perfect.
Yeah, and those are blending options, not options de fusion. Just for people who think it might be options de fusion, it's not that.
No, no, it's not that.
Blending mode. And those are in the layers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I like adding shadow to the shot, and like another some bigger tree,
Mm,
like to add a bit more personality to the vegetation.
yeah. You're still leaving a line of sight through the picture. You're still letting us see through it, but you're blocking some of it with this
Yeah,
detail.
and then I think I walk. Okay, so this is a foreground, so there is a lot of
Oh
stuff in
shit. So now it got crazy. Now you added like
here.
so much more um yeah, what
Yeah,
was your
no, I
thinking? What was your because the farther away one without the stuff in the foreground looks fine. What was your thinking behind saying, okay, well now I need to put a bunch of trees blocking
because
some of the picture?
because for now, like here it's starting to be okay, but here it's really empty. So the eyes is like lost here. Like we here it's interesting. Like the eyes go here, here. You can go behind, look at that. You can go far behind and look at that, and look at those details. But here there is like I don't think it don't fit with the narrative of Last of Us that the vegetation has taken part. There is not enough vegetation for me.
I see what you're
And I,
saying. You're talking about like leading the eye through the picture and having interesting stuff for them to look at, and in the middle you feel like that's happening, but now in the left it just isn't as much.
yeah, exactly. So and as well, it's adding. I mean, sometimes I do it too much, but it's adding details, like some like yeah some like maybe we don't see it clearly, but it's like tiny details of all the fire stop.
Yeah, and it's what's surprising to me is when you zoom in, it's actually pretty rough. It's not like you're making sure
Yeah, because
everything's
yeah
perfect
yeah
on the
yeah
zoom in because when you zoom out it works, but when you zoom in you can see the photoshoppiness, but it doesn't matter. You're just kind of like,
yeah because I will blend it at the end anyway. And it's like yeah, I adding some cars like abandoned cars.
oh, so you covered that other back car completely at this point.
Yeah. So you see, sometimes this is sometimes a mistake because I started working on a car that was way too more clean for Last of Us, so I needed to replace it.
Right. Right. It was easier to find a new car than to keep fussing with the car that was already there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is like just adding some detail, like basic lighting detail, like this car is like there is no shadow. So just by adding that, it's already better integrated in the shot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And
it's the same. It's like the same technique. Like it's just like this basic brush. Like just by making it like oops. I'm on the moose, so
Yeah.
but you and then just by erasing it with the same one.
Right. Oh, you're not doing it on a multiply layer. You're just doing a new paint layer.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that, but yeah.
Okay, you're just painting it in. But on the sand, it looks like you're doing a multiply or something.
Yeah, it depends on it. Yeah, it depends on.
Hmm.
Yeah, so adding details as well. Again.
Oh, these little details. That American flag and stuff is getting there. Oh, zoom into
Yeah.
that. Let's see those bad boys, those little things.
This?
Yeah, just those little. Yeah, you had the little American flag, the little writing on there. Turn those on
Yeah.
again.
Like another tree. A bigger one here, and now it's starting to be better here because like we are blocking
Yeah,
the A.
yeah. So that tell me about that big piece that you added on the left. Like what that because it does add a lot.
Yeah, because it's focus. It makes the A focus what I want to show, which is the street and the building. So I don't need to show like another building behind. Or I mean, it's not the purpose of this shot. It could be, but the brief was not that. So the brief was about this, and obviously the street because the building is in the street.
Yeah, that adds a lot because that what that does, that big tree on the left, it almost like pulls you back into the middle of the image because you do
Yeah,
want to go down that your eye wants to go down that street, and if it stops along the way, that's fine. But like that big thing on the left says, don't look over here. But it also
yeah,
takes a little
exactly.
bit of courage, I think, that you don't realize. It takes a lot of courage to, for example, put that tree in the middle of the street that you put because you're kind of saying, I made all this work that looks cool, but now I'm going to cover it up. And
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that's hard.
That's true. That's true. But then sometimes it's a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe sometimes it's too much, and you never know. But yeah. I
Uh,
mean, it again? It was about the street and the building. So I don't I didn't I needed this just as a background, not as a piece. So
yeah,
I could I mean this. So I can hide it even if it's dope. Like only this 10% of information is good enough
yeah,
to
yeah,
to 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 sell the story, to sell the
yeah.
shot.
And you're also deciding, like, if we say that the new game is set a certain amount of time in the future, and this tree takes 40 years to grow out of the middle of the street, someone could be like, actually, that tree would never grow in the street in that amount of
Yeah,
time because of the
yeah,
age of the tree, you know. But like, it just looks really cool.
yeah. That's true. That's true. And then I added like a bit more details to the building because like when I did this, I was like, yeah, but where are those part of the wall? Like it didn't vanish. It's impossible. So either it's gonna be mountain of grass because it's, or either you're gonna see the rubble.
Right.
So I oops, no, not this one.
Oh, because you're asking yourself, where did the pieces,
Yeah, of this
yeah, of that
is,
end up?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I needed to, yeah. So it's not really well done, but I guess it did the job. So I just put some concrete, but I could have like just put like some, yeah, some grass that
But those
covered
pieces
up.
look beautiful. Each one of those pieces that you have on the ground has like a beautiful, nice shape to it. And it also, they're a little bit unexpected shapes. They're like, they don't look like rubble. It's not like you grabbed a bunch of rubble and like put it there. So how did you decide what pieces you were going to use and how we're going to use them? Because that's a serious like design element in my mind.
I don't really know. I guess it's more about observing and how the thing. Yeah, it's hard to answer that clearly. I don't
Because
know really.
you have this traffic light, for example, and it's coming down, and then the line of the traffic light comes down, and then it hits that rubble piece, but that rubble piece kind of takes you into the image. So,
Yeah,
like, instinctively, you're like, I'm going to add rubble, but I'm also going to have the rubble do a little bit of helping you to guide you where I want you to look, kind of.
yeah, and it's also a game to play with. I mean, you have element, and it's good to make them interact with each other. So it's good if I have like this rubble that made the pole a bit like uh, uh, you know what I mean, like
Turned a little bit.
yeah, it turned a little bit.
Yeah, and same with the sign on the car. And that big tree on the right, you again had a folder somewhere, or you looked for that tree specifically?
I don't remember, but I think it was like part of. I think I googled it, or maybe it was in the back of of you,
Yeah.
because you gave out so much photo in the Dropbox folder for Last of Us, so there was like plenty of stuff to to take.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's all this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
So
there's.
because
Go ahead.
you said like I remember showing you, and you said maybe something like it could be cool to have like something a bit more original, or something that makes the shot a bit more unique. And so I had like a small plane like that could have crashed on the street,
That's
and
cool.
then I did like the fog pass, which I did at the end.
That plane stayed in the shot. I don't even remember. Is that plane in the final image?
Yeah, it is.
I just didn't even notice. You put a plane there that you found a crashed plane, but what's interesting about that is that it's almost like an abstract shape. You can see the
Yeah,
tail of the
exactly.
plane, but there's this piece that's in the front of it that what the hell is that even? What is that shape? It's like I don't think that's a photo that was that one photo with the plane little piece like
I
that.
think it's I know, maybe, but sometimes and it's where it's hard to work with reality. It's because sometimes you see some stuff in reality, and if you don't already know what it is, you're gonna say, it's not that. And
Yeah,
this, yeah, I think it was like a one single photo.
right.
Let me, maybe if I. Ah, no, that's just the texture. But yeah, I'm pretty sure
And
it's
you
one
also
photo.
you also decided, interestingly, like with the shapes in the grass and the sand, you're creating nice lines and shapes. On this, you put this rust texture on there, but the rust texture is almost like a pattern. You didn't try to, design a shape of it, but it looks great. But you just had like a straight up pattern of rust across the whole white shape in a much less styled way, but it still looks good. Is there a reason why you didn't make the rust like, you know, only on a third of it, like you would in the ground or like you would in something else?
I guess as long as it looks cool, but I guess for this one it's maybe too noisy. Maybe I could have
I
like,
don't think it is. I think it looks fine. I think it looks cool.
but yeah, no, it's not like yeah. As long as my ace is pleased, I guess I'll go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so then you went to this lighten layer. Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Your fog
this
thing?
yeah. This one to make like more depth in the contrast.
Right.
Because like this dark is way too much dark, because like here the shadow is almost soft, and
Yeah.
here the shadow is too dark too. So like it
So
can't
what
be.
is that layer? Is it just lighten modes of different color? Lighten layer modes? Oh,
It's
it's quite a
like,
bit of stuff.
yeah. So I don't even see what.
A
Okay,
little bit
this,
inside the hole there, yeah.
yeah, and this one is for the back.
And these are all on the top layer, just like this, and you're just cutting them out.
They are all like on lighten,
Yeah.
and yeah, all on but yeah, on top. And then like just like, yeah, to make the because the light hit hard the sound, so the sound cast maybe a bit more like there maybe a bit of particle in near the ground, so it takes like the light
I
you
see.
see of the.
Right. So that little bit of warmth that little warm color you're having there, you're imagining that's, light that's really close to the dusty ground. So it's catching.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's it for this one.
Bravo. Bravo.
Oh, come
Bravo.
on.
Bravo. Magical. Magical.
No, not magical.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. If you have any suggestions, questions, other things you want to discuss, just please write it in the comments and we'll try to address them. Especially if you heard something that you wanted to like get some clarification on. Perhaps we can have links and things that we can add in the description. So yeah, any questions, comments, any future thoughts on future episodes, to let us know. Okay, talk soon.